some more black people just being and then we got to talk about, speaking of, look at this woman. She doesn't want to pay, so she's going to cover up her license plate instead of paying her the insurance.
Nothing happened.
You know, this is a hit and run if you don't let me take a picture.
No, nothing happened.
Okay, I picked up on a Latina accent, so I'm actually not sorry at all. So honestly, yeah, go nuts. Screw each other over, please. So my sympathy just went way down for this person. But bottom line is, this is a person with an literally an African accent. Isn't this insane? We have people with African accents arguing about insurance, not wanting to pay insurance, as an angry Mexican films. The founders would be rolling in their graves.
Nothing happened. You are trying to just claim. Nothing happened.
Monstrous breasts, by the way. Good Lord, they're doing all the heavy lifting.
No, nothing happened. Nothing happened. You are trying to just claim. Nothing happened. You're just trying to claim. Nothing happened. Nothing happened to
I will give them.
You just, nothing happened.
Nice, nothing happened. And actually, if nothing happened, then I could actually be... See, No, I don't actually have principles. No, I'm just a racist. Okay? How about that? How about that? No, I don't have to have a moral standard across the board. No, if you're a Mexican, I'm gonna honestly, I'm kind of like siding with the black girl here. This Mexican probably is trying to cash in, to be honest. If there is nothing wrong with the car, then this fucking Mexican probably is trying to cash in. Honestly, who would have thought? I would have been I'm siding with the black here. I'm really over Mexicans though, and people are like, you know what? People in my comments on YouTube, at least, they're like, why don't you talk about the Muslim problem? Muslims are a fucking problem. I hate Muslims. They don't need to be in our country. They're incompatible with the West. But they're like 2% of the population, okay? Blacks are 14% of the population. Mexicans are like 50% of the population. Priorities, folks. And blacks make up for their few numbers by their propensity to crime. But that's that video. That was funny. With the massive boobs helping her to get that. I actually never thought to do that, but... speaking of massive, here's a fucking piece of shit talking about... I don't even know what this is. Is this I think this is probably a girl taking into account the gun.
I have worked with 4- and 5-year-olds in schools who have genders that their parents don't want them to have. Parents' rights have suddenly been weaponized against trans and non-binary and two-spirit youth.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining.
Yes, those parents' rights. They shouldn't have any rights. We should just give them to the state.
I want us to get really comfortable with challenging right-wing Christian patriarchy. I want to say things like, you can do work around sexual orientation and gender diversity with children of all ages. And so I want us to think about these conversations in kindergarten.
Of course you do, you sick, fat, repulsive people.
Okay, at this point, what choice do we have? Like, you literally have to, I've been looking at schools. I was trying to find private schools to send Nelson to, and all week I've been grinding. I was like, where can I find a private school that actually teaches? And I mean, because here's the thing. The elites have created the school system. I mean, Rockefeller literally said, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. Okay? And he's the one behind the school movement, the Department of Education as we know it today, behind the curriculum and all of that. So the curriculum of the United States of America has been created by someone who doesn't want you to think, because they want a stupid fucking population to control, obviously. But yet, at the same time, those people, those elites, they want their kids. Oh, they want their kids going somewhere good. They send their kids to an elite school because they want them to get an education. And I think a lot of Americans are like very anti-education, like very, and I honestly, I used to even be kind of, I was like, ugh, the academics, ugh, these smart people. And we've gotten that idea because we've not only been fed that idea to quench the thirst to actually want to learn, because the elites, the last thing they want us to do is be smart and be highly educated. But also, we've kind of accrued that mentality from just our observations. Like, these academics at, like, universities, and they're basically all liberal, they are fucking obnoxious, and they are stupid. But they are not even learning anything. You know, the elites send their kids to good schools. They send their kids to private schools that teach them more things than just fucking math and English, okay? The literature that even kids read now is garbage. Why are they reading like a comic book? Why is that even an option? Why are kids not reading the classics? You know? What's going on? And I'm not talking about just fucking Shakespeare. It's like and that's what I've been running into when looking at private schools. I was like, okay, I want a classical education private school. So that means they're learning Latin. I want him to learn Italian and French. Okay? And I want him to get into a school now, because if you start or not now, but like later, little bit later on, preferably now, honestly, if he could learn a foreign language, because you can pick up languages like this if you're a kid. And that's why that's why Europeans, my first like real boyfriend was from Belgium. Very good looking, way out of my league. Don't know how I pulled that one. But he spoke 5 fucking languages. 5 languages. He was incredibly smart. He was an engineer over here. He was doing one of those like foreign exchange work things. Really, really smart, very intelligent, and spoke 5 languages. And that's because he learned when he was a kid, because the school system over there, they like teach the kids that, at least in the good schools. I don't know about the public schools in Europe. Probably not great. But I'm going to venture a guess that they're probably better than ours. I'm going to guess that our public schools are probably some of the worst in the world. Like, the developed world, that is. Garbage. Like, people actually learn nothing. And I want him to learn a language young so that he can pick up another language. Because that boy, he had to learn Dutch because he had gotten another position in the Netherlands. So he was like picking up Dutch later on, and he almost could speak it fluently after just studying on his own for like a couple months or something. And I was like, wow. So I wanted something like that, but you can't find that. These classical education schools, they market themselves as that, and they're going to charge you a premium, but they're just learning a basic ass curriculum. And it's like the best you're going to get is Latin. Okay, well, Latin's great. I took Latin in high school, and it is good. I will say it is good for whenever you're learning another language, but you can't speak Latin to anybody, okay? So it's not useful. There is not a single fucking school, like a regular private school that I could find, that's not like in a state that I don't want to go to, that teaches that teaches little kids, like kindergarten kids, a foreign language. They all just start in high school. There's not anything. So at this point, I'm like, I'll have to literally move to Europe so that Nelson can go to a school in like Switzerland or the Netherlands or something. Cooked beyond belief. So that's been something I've been really thinking about lately. Because we need like the best. We need good humans. We need smart humans. That's why that like nothing gets invented anymore. Like literally no one invents shit anymore. It's all just reiterations of the same things, or it's a new app. That's the only thing. Like, when's the next Alexander Graham Bell going to drop? Are we ever going to get another Edison? Or is that just a thing of the past? Even like with classical music. You listen to classical music now, it's like, dun, 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 dun. It's fucking trash. And then you listen to like Tchaikovsky, you listen to Chopin, you listen to, I don't know, there's a bunch of Russian composers that are really good, but I have no idea how to pronounce their last names. And we just don't invent new anything. Even the books are all ChatGPT, or they sound like ChatGPT, or they're fucking trash. And that's I think that can be attributed because nobody's getting a quality education. Education is actually
Still pretty
insane. Is actually trash. Like filth, garbage. And then you have people like this fucking turd teaching your kids, and you think they're going to get a good education? So, anyway. By the way, speaking of freaks, let's be real, okay? I'm going to put this...
You're a pro.
I'm kind of sick of hearing the opinions of... I'm sorry. Yes, I'll be the mean one to say it, okay? And there's this other one. Fuck, where is it? We gotta find this other video. There was this fucking journalist that's like beyond, okay? I'm sorry to be mean. If any of you have a kid, I'm not hating on. I'm hating on like setting them up as if they're like some sort of intellectual giant. Again, the irony of me, a woman, talking and having a show while criticizing people that think they're intellectual giants, it is not lost on me. I'm aware. But still, at the same time, I'd rather not get my news from a... And I think it's kind of exploitative too. Now, this isn't exactly what I'm talking about, but if I can find this, watch this video while I try to find this other video, because it's gold.
You're pro-life, correct?
Yes, I'm pro-life.
So what is your opinion on school shootings? How do we stop them?
Well, I'm against...
Okay, first of all, you fucking weird freak. You freak of human biology. Where do you get the arrogance is what I'd like to know. I mean, you are disfigured and deformed beyond belief. And you have this, like, ghetto black woman, like, gay guy, sassy, catty gay guy thing going on. What's that?
How do we stop them?
Well, I'm against school shootings, just like how I'm against shooting Charlie Kirk in the neck.
But that's the Second Amendment right.
Yeah, you don't have the Second Amendment right to go into a school and shoot up a bunch of Catholic school children. No.
Oh, the Catholic ones that are the only ones that matter right now.
This is like hearing a black intellectual, okay? They like, since they can't argue, because they don't even have the mental capacity to argue, they just have to pick up on like a word or two, and then they just like argue about one word. When it's like, okay, so what exactly is your argument? Since they know they're losing the argument, they just have to pick up on like one thing, one tiny single word to argue with.
Nope, not what I said, sir. The most recent...
By the way, the
shooter
shooter wasn't trans. The shooter wasn't trans. I will add.
Okay. The most recent school shooting was a Catholic school shooting where students were shot while they prayed.
Okay.
That's why I said Catholic school shooting. The Second Amendment does not give you the right to go and shoot people. The Second Amendment, if you studied political science, and the reason we have the Second Amendment is to have an armed militia to prevent from government overreach.
Shut up. Hey, shut up. Okay, finally. Holy shit, I finally found this video. Damn. Okay, you know what links I had to go to find this video? I literally had to say, disabled journalist that interviewed Zohran Mamdani. We can't even say like it's actually the Emperor's New Clothes. What we live in is the Emperor's New Clothes, okay? I'm sorry to bring up an old video. I'm aware that this is old, but we are on the subject of like being treated like they're, the ambassador to Canada or something. I don't know. But here we go. This is Zohran Mamdani being interviewed by this esteemed journalist. And this has got to be one of the top 10 lock-in moments. I will hand it to him. How did you keep a straight face, exactly? And what is this fucking clown world that we have to deal with? This is the Emperor's New Clothes, okay? I'm sorry, but in a normal functioning society that was a serious country, that was a serious society, was not just a freak show set up to distract us while other people really pull the strings of power. This is a perfect example of that.
A new era of leadership that is here for you because we are you. And for the Mexican abuelas, Yemen bodega owners, Senegal, taxi drivers,
Okay, I'd like to pause the video to ask one question. Why are Mexican abuelitas, Yemenis, would it be Yemenis? Yemen bodega owners, Singal taxi drivers, and Uzbek nurses. Why is that a thing in my country, pray tell? Why are any of those things the topic of any discussion in the United States of America? Not under my watch as dictator, certainly not. So you have a who is talking to a Muslim who is mayor of New York City, lecturing him that there needs to be, I guess, more given to foreigners who are invading our country. Great.
Trinidad cooks in England, that's great. Where are we, the disabled community?
I think the disabled...
Oh, so he's jealous. So now we have infighting amongst the minorities. Why? It's not even fair to call them minorities anymore because they're like the majority now, certainly in cities. He's actually mad. This actually pissed off that he's not included in the list of all those other people that are sapping up. What the fuck is this? Okay, this goes on, and you have Zoran Mamdani talking to this guy like everything's perfectly normal. I don't want to live in a society where you're looking at a freak show in front of your eyes and you're just going to pretend like everything's fucking normal. It's all fine, guys. So here's another video of him. I don't even know what the fuck. But this is another video of him, and you have the rest of the audience. This is totally normal, by the way. Totally normal. This is not a good sign of where society should be going. Sorry to be ragging on the tards today, but it is what it is, okay? And especially this guy, like if anything, because I heard somewhere that if you are like a far-right nationalist and you have a problem with, just give them a mic. Just let continue to put Rabbi Shmuley on an endless loop. Give him every airtime, give him every possibility to talk, and anti-Semitism will go through the roof. Buddy, if your point was to raise awareness and help, you're not helping your case, okay? Because when people see you in a chair being wheeled around by your parent or whatever, people feel sympathy for you. No one has the desire to go over and attack except for possibly could be argued, a person with the same IQ as aka a black. That's it. But the more you fucking bitch and moan about it, the more people actually now have a problem with. No one had a problem with, and now you have woke SJW who everybody's supposed to just sit back and pretend like this is normal. No, it's not normal.
The culture that found that bus delays were forcing kids.
Bus delays?
Yeah. We're forcing kids with disabilities to miss out on classes and extracurricular activities. He's suggesting to a school bus chancellor. Do you think that's necessary? And how do you fix the dysfunction in the bus system?
You know, I take very seriously that report, those findings. I think you'll find in the Chancellor's remarks as well as in my own that the quality of education and experience that we deliver for disabled children across the city has to be a priority. And I am at once appreciative of the fact that the bus contract was not extended to the full proposed amount. And I know that this...
Okay, well, I would count my blessings that your only problem for your community is being late to school, which I honestly, I'm sorry to be mean, but if the taxpayers are paying it, what is the benefit of sending a mentally retarded, vegetabilized person to school? Sorry to be the one to say it. Sorry to be the asshole. But why are taxpayers, because these people are on disability, by the way, and then their disability pays for education and all of the shit, unless they're going to, and even if they are going to a public school where it's free, no, it's not actually free, because now you have to hire a person to just teach severely people. Okay? All right. I don't have a sibling, clearly. But I used to actually be a bus monitor. When I was in community college, I couldn't find like a job, and we were like in pretty bad straits during that time. And my parents had just gotten divorced, and we all moved with my mom up to North Carolina. And I was going to school. My brothers were going to high school. We were all fucking broke as shit. And she had gotten a job as like a bus driver. And then she got me a job, or she knew that there was a job at the local school for a bus monitor. So I would monitor the bus on the way to school. And when I say I mean severe, people like literally in his condition. There was this one kid, it was the most disgusting. I'm sorry to be cruel, okay? But somebody has to say it. It's gross. It's not bad. I don't hate, okay? I don't even know why I'm going on the street. like people are going to hate me for this. I know if you have a disabled person, I'm not hating. I don't know how to explain this, okay? But at the same time, I just say what people are thinking, okay? I'm sorry. So there was this one kid on that bus that bro was like in a wheelchair, fucking like all that, like arms. It was like a Picasso painting, okay? I don't even know what the condition was. And it was a constant like river stream of fluids coming out of this person at all times, okay? And I had the job, like, so I know the common people, all right? So by the way, if I ever do become dictator, I have been at the bottom with the common people. I understand the common people, all right? Oh, somebody's gonna clip me doing this, and they'll be like, Lily's throwing up devil horns now. So some idiot did that the other day. I was like, this is perfect right here. And I saw a comment on my YouTube, and they were like, wow, 6 minutes in and she's already thrown up the Satan sign. I'm like, some of you honestly should not have the right to vote. But anyway, what was I talking about? Fuck, I just lost a great train of thought. So I had to help load this person and unload him and make sure he didn't like drown or die, okay? And then I had these other people that were like, it's sad. You know, it was sad. And honestly, I think my anger is actually coming from the fact that there is exploitation going on. It's either being put in front of a camera to benefit whoever's behind the camera, and it's exploitative. I actually care about. I know that's shocking considering what I've been saying about them, but it actually it doesn't sit well with me when I see like Instagram reels and like they parade out the tard like it's a circus. And the videos go viral, whatever, but I don't like that. I don't think we should be going to school if they're like that severely, disabled. They're clearly not learning anything. They're just trying to survive. Is anyone even at home, and like out to lunch, okay? These kids, if you want to, and I get the argument of, well, we want to give them something interesting to do in life. Okay, well, why does it have to be on our dime, though? Because we're paying for these people at the end of the day, all right? I get disability, you can't take care of yourself, whatever. But it's like all these other things, like, let's parade them out and pretend like you're a journalist, okay? What an unserious country we are. Like, what a fucking joke. I want this to be an empire where people are scared of us, like a porcupine. No one would fuck with the United States because we're a serious country and we're not a joke. I'm sick of being a fucking joke. And when you have the Muslim mayor of New York City being lectured and interrogated by a vegetable, that doesn't scream serious country. That screams a joke up on the verge of collapse. Disabled people should be at home with their families. If they don't have any families, I don't know. So I don't know what to do with it, okay? But they should be at home. They should be wheeled outside in a yard so that they can look at the trees and the birds and feel the wind and feel the sun on their skin. And they should be just taken on little walks. They should not be put in the school system where we have to bend over backwards and try to like accommodate and teach them as if they're going to Harvard. It's stupid. I really don't know the point of this, but I've been seeing a lot of I think what the problem is on Instagram is once you like save a video, then it feeds you nothing of that. And I'd saved some video of some like not actually, but it was like a freak show of liberals. And now my feed is nothing but like unbelievable. I feel like such an asshole, but I'm not hating on. At the end of the day, it's just a means to exploit the system. It's a means to get more money. All these Medicaid, all these handouts, all these welfare things are completely manipulated by people who know how to work the system, and it's just draining us dry of what little money we have left after we send the majority of it to Israel. Okay? Sorry. But anyway, that's the show. I think I better stop talking right now before I get myself into any more trouble. But I can't be the only one that thinks that this is a little stupid. All right? Can we just agree on that? Like, somebody's paying for that fancy chair. Like, why aren't you just wheeling around town? Why aren't you just wheeling around like a park, a public park, you know? Take them on events like that. But do we really have to, like, sorry. Anyway, that's a little bit of the show. I have got to go to sleep. I'm so fucking exhausted. Bill's at the wazoo. Fucking this, that, and the other. But my boat's fixed, so that's good. There's food in the fridge. Everything's fine. We're all just struggling. I'm just pissed off. You know, honestly, I think what it is I'm just pissed off at the state of our nation. It's just sad to see a once great nation just fall into it's not only the laughing stock of the world. We're a joke. We're uneducated. We're stupid. We're fat. I don't like to see that. I would like to be America of old, where we were respected and where we were feared, and we actually had something to offer, and we built things and we made things, and we were an empire. And this is not an empire. We are not an empire at all, by any stretch of the imagination. We are a fucking joke, and the country's going down in a handbasket thanks to these endless wars and bad decisions and intentionally trying to genocide white people and mass migration and all of these things, fraud in abundance. And then the cherry on top is just, again, this war, sending billions of dollars to fucking Israel and funding everyone else's well-being except for normal, hardworking Americans. That's why I'm pissed off.
So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.